Alrighty, welcome to Night News. Our top story, apparently 3,000 in attendance for Raw there. According to Dave Meltzer, a terrible, number there, lowest since the pandemic started. Apparently there was more people in Raleigh, North Carolina for Dynamite, which was a terrible crowd. There's nobody there. Apparently more people for that show, but McMahon is better at camouflaging a small crowd, blah, blah, blah there. Basically, folks, people were making fun of Dynamite's low attendance last week or whatever. So now it's time for Meltzer's revenge, you know what I mean? Small crowd, McMahon, blah, blah, So here you have two identical things, two small crowds. Very small or whatever. So AEW has a small crowd, Meltzer doesn't really care. McMahon, small crowd, terrible. This is terrible here. Once again, two small crowds. Meltzer defends one crowd by attacking the other, McMahon or whatever. It's obvious he's biased as fuck there, but McMahon, small crowd, it's not impressive, but it's old news, you know what I mean? We've been hearing these low numbers for years. It's not really news, but he has to bring it up because he wants to stick up for his boys, his AEW boys. Apparently, WWE filed a trademark for a wrestler name, Gunter Stark or Gunter Starks or something. So a new wrestler, they trademark a name, Gunter Stark or something like this. People check on Google and apparently there was somebody in the Nazi military or whatever called Gunter Stark, according to one of the British channels there. Oh, he was a commander. Oh yeah, Gunter Stark, a commander. Oh Lord. McMahon, how could you make that mistake? Naming a wrestler after the world famous Nazi commander Gunter Stark or whatever, So what, there's somebody, they want to name a wrestler Gunter Stark. There happens to have been a Nazi with that name. So what there? McMahon is a Nazi or whatever. McMahon supports Nazis. What's the stretch with this? You know what I mean? This is a fucking reach and a half or whatever, you know what I mean? It's irresponsible. In what way? I'm sure there's somebody out there, another person with the name Matt Jackson, you know what I mean? There's possibly a criminal with the name Nick Jackson that committed a crime or whatever, you know what I mean? People with the same names throughout history, so what? People are gonna type Gunter Stark, they're gonna land on the Nazi commander and they would confuse the two. How would this be so terrible or whatever? If McMahon would bring out a wrestler called Gunter Stark, he would take over the search on Google, the wrestler, and you'd have to go up to page 67 to find Gunter Stark, the commander. So I think you have to fucking reach pretty far there to try to come up with something to attack WWE when this is it. You know what I mean? Like, you want to name somebody Gunther Stark? There was somebody, a Nazi 100 years ago called Gunther Stark. Fuck you, McMahon. Like, it's pretty sad. Maybe McMahon comes out with a small mustache next week. Nine! Gunther Stark! I don't know, it's pretty pathetic there, but apparently Fightful released another report or a follow-up or an update or something. Cody Rhodes doesn't even have an executive contract anymore. He's got no contract. We heard you the first time there, no contract or whatever. So who's the big source there? Is it Cody Rhodes himself or whatever there? Tell him I'm not even an executive anymore. Tell him. Like, the only person excited for this is the people at What Culture or whatever. You know what I mean? I was watching a video from them. I think it was them there. We're just excited and we're going along for the ride. What ride? You know what I mean? Cody Rhodes, people think he's going to go in the Rumble. He doesn't go, and then he says he's too good to go to the Rumble. Like, how is this exciting? Like, seriously. You know what I mean? And the people, are they excited for Cody Rhodes? Are they excited about AEW? To me, it sounds like they're excited about the Rumble. Will Cody appear in the Rumble? If he doesn't appear, then where's the excitement, really? Like, what happens next? I decided to stay here because AEW's the best. Like, you know what I mean? Pretty cheap there. I don't know what's gonna happen, nor do I give a fuck, nor do I expect anything good to happen. If Cody Rhodes would go in the Rumble, it would be, you know, funny to see. It would be something. The big AEW poster boy appearing in the Rumble. There would be a certain shock factor, but there wouldn't be much shock anymore since it's out there and people are talking about it, right? So I don't know really what's the fucking point of this bullshit, but it's just a big waste of time there. It's obvious he's not going anywhere. Like, and the hot news story, folks, Peter Avalon, AEW superstar, apparently he's taking indie bookings or whatever. And this led people to speculate, is Peter Avalon leaving AEW? Because he's such a big star, I mean. And apparently Leva Bates reassured the people that he's staying in AEW. He's just taking indie bookings because Tony don't pay enough cash. It's okay. You know, so why talk about a non-story like this? Well, according to the British clickbait media, there a lot of contracts are coming up and AEW is going to release talent, and that's okay. It's okay. So the same people that have been vilifying McMahon there for the past 3-4 years for releasing talent, you know, they want you to let you know Tony's gonna be doing the exact same thing, but it's okay if Tony does it, you know what I mean? What? You released somebody who works backstage at NXT that I've never heard of. Oh, Vince. You're evil, Vince. You're terrible, Vinny. What, Tony Khan did the exact same thing? That's okay. It's alright. a joke and a half, this fucking political AEW bullshit there. Booker T wants Charlotte to open the forbidden door and wrestle female stars from Japan. How about no there? We've seen some of this stuff in AEW, and I've seen enough personally myself there. I'd like to see Charlotte against Lita, you know. Other women in WWE, there are possibly other women who are relevant, but who exactly from Japan? You know, we don't need the shit to get too nerdy with the Forbidden Door talk there. Once you start bringing the Japanese into it there, that's when things start to get ugly, folks. Alexa Bliss responds to critics. Sometimes you gotta let things play out. I agree there. Alexa Bliss, not only does she look good, but she's a smart girl there. Let it play out, you fat AEW retard. Shut the fuck up there and let things play out there, you fat fucking goofballs. Apparently, according to some small-time wrestling thing there, there's a report that McMahon doesn't want to push Finn Balor anymore. Good! For fuck's sakes, good. You know what I mean. Finn Balor, they put the Universal on him. He got hurt. You know, very bland and boring in promos when they put him in situations. He was bland, you know. And they put him as NXT World Champion, and the ratings were fucking flat. If Finn Balor was a big deal, wouldn't he have drawn interest on NXT? But it was a big fail. The people complaining for Finn Balor, AEW fans, his fan base, the indie crowd, you know what I mean. Prince Devitt, you beautiful boy. You know what I mean? These people are the ones complaining. Again, just like, you know, they're the ones that were hating on these people. Finn Balor, Adam Cole, they were hating on NXT when they were champs. So why would McMahon push Finn Balor if he wasn't getting any viewership on NXT? Rightfully so. Why would you push a guy who ain't drawing shit, right? Meltzer doesn't think it's going to be a title versus title match at Mania or whatever. He says it wasn't supposed to be like this. Let things play out after the Rumble and it'll be, you know. In other words, he don't know shit or whatever. Thanks for the information, Dave Meltzer there. SmackDown gets 2.17 million viewers this week, folks. Rampage talked about this earlier there. 500,000, 526 or whatever. Almost 4 times the amount of viewership. And it's funny, this show plays on Friday night as well, folks. 4 times the viewership. Ain't no excuse because it's Friday night, boy. It all depends on the material. You have a star like Roman Reigns, you get 2 million. You got a fucking jobber like Adam Cole or whatever. They're bunch of ham and eggers. You get 500k, folks. Pathetic. So there's the news for today, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for more vids coming later this week there. Until next time, peace.